Good morning, everyone. We are going to start in just a minute. We begin with the background video of the Infosys Science Foundation, and I request you to put your phones on, well, the ringer off in the meanwhile, on airport mode or airplane mode, or switched off. We'll begin in just 1 minute.
One of the theories propounded by psychologists is that youngsters are inspired by role models. So one of the instruments we have is to recognize role models, honor them in front of a large number of youngsters.
My view is that in every society, our heroes should be people who raise the aspiration of young people, who are scientists, who are great intellectuals, who believe in a better future, and who are making the future happen. We should promote a prize where we recognize the true heroes of society.
In my mind, it was all about mainstreaming the conversation about research and science in the Indian society, and along with that to encourage curiosity in the young people's mind.
We must create a pathway for young people to choose science as a career. We have to make sure that they are financially well rewarded for pursuing science. We should recognize their accomplishments. I do believe that this is very important for India.
See, if you look at the success of a US environment in the basic research, a very strong connection between the industry and the academia. Academia has to satisfy industry's requirement. Industry then can depend on academia for its future.
Our country can only advance with long-term research, because ultimately that fundamental research leads to applied research that leads to problem solving. Everything that we have today is because of some research done many, many years back in some field or the other.
So we thought the key to this entire thing that we need to do discoveries about finding the scientists and inspire them and showcase them to the world that they are of global standards and they can discover and solve the problems of India, which can be applied to the world also. And with that in mind, we set up the Infosys Science Foundation to reward and recognize the great scientists.
These are all truly extraordinary people, gifted people, people who did extraordinary piece of work. So they are inspirational for me.
What gives me hope is you look at Infosys Prize, the winners of this have already gone on to win in some way equivalent of a Nobel Prize or a Nobel Prize. That gives me hope.
The Infosys Prize was probably one of the first to recognize these people. I think that is what I am absolutely proud of. I am proud of what they have accomplished.
I would like to see two things happen with Infosys Prize over the next 10 years. First and foremost, it becomes the largest prize about research in India. It becomes recognized around the world. Second, I would like to see the laureates becoming icons for research about India, driving transformation of our society, driving economic growth, job creation, and wealth creation in India.
Let the youngsters in the country understand that in this country, we will honor scientists, we will honor researchers, we will salute them, we will cheer them.
Good morning and welcome everyone. It is my pleasure to welcome you here for the 17th Infosys Prize Winners Announcement Press Conference, together with my team Shruti Shashikumar, Swati Devankar, Serene Kasim I'm Bhavna Mehra, the Vice President of the Infosys Science Foundation, and I welcome you. You know, in the early years of the prize, I remember Mr. Murthy and other trustees exhorting the media to report generously on the work of the winners. And today we see it as a reality not just for Infosys Prize winners, but for other researchers who make our lives better. So thank you for that. Thank you for being here. By the way, the cat behind me is Schrodinger's famous cat, which is the symbol of his famous thought experiment that denotes 100 years of quantum science and technology, which we are celebrating this year. To begin the proceedings of the morning, I would like to welcome Mr. K. Dinesh, who is the President of the Infosys Science Foundation.
Good morning. Thanks, Bhavna. And welcome to all of you to this announcement of winners of the Infosys Prize 2025. It's my honor to be here to welcome all of you once again. We are gathered here today to honor some of the finest minds of their generation that have not only pushed the boundaries of knowledge, but have also illuminated paths to a better future for all of humanity. Infosys Prize has always sought out stellar scientists and scholars from around the world whose work has potential to impact our lives. Just this year, several of our laureates have been in the news for their further accomplishments after winning our prize in the past. Just to name some of them, it's a long list, but for want of time, I'm going to highlight few of them only. Sunil Amrit, our 2016 Humanities laureate, won the 2025 British Academy Book Prize for his book, The Burning Earth, on the climate crisis. G. Mugesh, 2019 Physical Sciences laureate, announced a major breakthrough at his lab at IISc that developed artificial enzymes to tackle deadly blood clots. This could have a significant impact on the treatment of heart disease in India and world over. Arun Shukla, 2023 Life Sciences laureate, has been elected fellow of the TWAS in the biological sciences category in 2025. All I want to highlight to all of you is our laureates are going further ahead and contributing their research into practical things that are required, and they are being looked into for their thought leadership. Bedagandas Mohanty, 2021 Physical Sciences laureate, this is very interesting to hear, laureate, was among the global team of scientists working on the ALICE collaboration, you may say what, which won the Breakthrough Prize in Fundamental Physics 2025. And this adds to the list of winners who have gone on win great honors. Among them, I want to mention 2 or 3 more, and 2 economist laureates you must be knowing already, Abhijit Banerjee and Esther the Fellow, who went on to win the Nobel Prize, and Life Sciences laureate Gagandeep Kang, who became the first Indian woman to be elected a fellow of the Royal Society. What else can we aspire for? These are all accomplishments that we have been able to select, and they have won on their merits the further things they need to do. These achievements reaffirm their stellar work and our commitment to honoring the best science and research. It proves to us that we are on the right path. We have witnessed how the benefits of science extend far beyond the confines of academic institutions, touching lives in tangible and transformative ways. Consider the monumental discovery of penicillin. Who has not heard of penicillin today? monumental discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming in those years, which revolutionized medicine, saved countless lives globally. Some of us would not have been here but for Fleming if we had some infection which was cured by antibiotic. Look at the groundbreaking work on the molecular structure of DNA. Unfortunately, one of the scientists is no longer there. Recently he passed away. None other than Watson and Crick, which unlocked the secrets of heredity and laid the foundation for modern genetics and laid the foundation for many things that happened in genetics and biotechnology. You know, the benefits of those are boundless as the humanity and the scientists discover more things that need to happen so that we can even edit the genes to cure some of the diseases that exist. That is the power of some of these innovations. These are just a few examples I am giving. If you give me time, I can list out many more things which you need to know, but we don't have time for that. But these scientific breakthroughs have reshaped our world, the way we live. And they are all discoveries that are fueled by the emphasis on basic scientific research. Now, closer home, you know, I talked about outside India now, but now let me talk to what we have done, you know, in the past. Closer home, we remember Aryabhata's invention of zero, shunya, and astronomy, which laid the groundwork of modern arithmetic and algebra. Now, as you all know, mathematics is the queen of all sciences, you know. And now look at home, Bangalore, Sir C.V. Raman's work on the scattering of light. What did he do? For which he won the Nobel Prize in Physics in as early as 1930. The Raman effect, as you may know, is useful for quality control in pharmaceuticals. We also celebrate the visionary leadership of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, who transformed the space exploration and laid the foundation for Indian Space Research Organization, leading to missions like Mangalayan, the Mars Orbiter mission, making India the fourth space agency in the world to do so. They laid the great foundations for great things that India needs to do. These achievements underscore India's rich scientific heritage. I hope that in time to come, the work of Infosys Prize laureates too will be recognized in the annals of history. I am also reminded of a great quote by Aristotle. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit. We need to make this research excellence as part of the habit of the entire Indian research community and world research community. But in doing that research, it is very important for scientists to remember they do very well. We need to seek the purpose of why we are doing, not just the success. That is very important for them to balance between the societal aspects and just the success they would achieve. Both have to be balanced when it comes to newer innovations that happen. And they must also think not just emotionally, they should think logically, wearing the hat of both of them to make sure that their research is very well balanced, which they do very well. So to laureates to be announced today, I offer my hearty congratulations along with all of you. Your work is a treatment to extraordinary potential of the humankind. Let us all continue to champion scientific research, foster an environment where innovation thrives, and inspire younger generations to embrace the wonders of discovery. In the pursuit of knowledge, we find not only answers but also the very essence of a progress and the promise of a brighter tomorrow. I'm sure we have a lot of other things to come, interesting things. With that in mind, those words, thank you all for being here. Really appreciate.
Thank you, Mr. Dinesh. I invite Mr. Murthy, Mr. Narayana Murthy, to give the keynote address for the morning.
Respected jury chairs, laureates, colleagues, and friends. It is my pleasure to speak here at this event to announce the Infosys Prize winners for 2025. Today, we celebrate the smartness, curiosity, daring, hard work, optimism, discipline, teamwork, excellence, and resilience in research in 6 categories: engineering and computer science, physical sciences, life sciences, mathematical sciences, economics, and humanities and social sciences. In doing so, we celebrate not only the work of the laureates, but the very spirit of research. In this talk, I will quote extensively from some correspondences and some well-known researchers and statesmen. Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who lived almost 2,000 years ago, once said, and I quote him, "Nothing has such power to broaden the mind as the ability to investigate systematically and truly all that comes under our observation in life," unquote. Research, my friends, is this broadening of the mind that leads to unraveling the mysteries of nature, seeing what others have not yet seen, and finding plausibly impossible solutions to the problems faced by the mankind. The need of the day for our country is to strengthen our national and institutional focus on research for a better India and a better world. The national focus on research started on a big scale when President Franklin D. Roosevelt raised an important issue with Dr. Vannevar Bush, who was at that time head of the Office of Research under Roosevelt's administration. He raised this in his letter dated November 17, 1944. Roosevelt asked, and I quote him, whether the information, the techniques, and the research experience developed by the thousands of scientists during the wartime should be used in the days of peace ahead for the improvement of the national health, the creation of new enterprises bringing new jobs, and for the betterment of national standard of living, unquote. President Roosevelt wanted the recommendations of Dr. Vannevar Bush on how to actionize his insightful questions. Dr. Vannevar Bush's answer to President Roosevelt's letter was a monumental report titled Science, the Endless Frontier. He sent it to the President on July 5, 1945. It led to the formation of the National Science Foundation in the US, to the US leadership in science and engineering research productivity, to the US leadership in space explorations, to the uninterrupted US leadership in research funding, to the research success of the US universities, laboratories and corporations in science and technology, and consequently made the US a superpower. It is therefore worthwhile for us to recall the words of Dr. Vannevar Bush, who said, I quote him, "Basic research leads to new knowledge. It provides scientific capital. New products and new processes do not appear full grown. They have to be nurtured," unquote. Even Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, India's much respected intellectual politician and the first Prime Minister of independent India, while laying the foundation of an important scientific research institution in India, affirmed the importance of research in the 50s in these words, and he said, "It is science alone that can solve the problems of hunger and poverty, of superstitions and deadening customs and traditions," unquote. It is worthwhile to recall here the words of some famous researchers on the importance of research to the society. Talking about the importance of curiosity and the need to encourage it among the youth, Professor Richard Feynman once said, and I quote him, "I would rather have questions that cannot be answered than answers that cannot be questioned," unquote. Research in universities, laboratories, libraries, and companies is born from such curiosity, imagination, Socratic questioning, daring, and humility. Research effort needs the audacity, daring, unbridled imagination, and the ability not to be cowed down by failures. Alan Turing, perhaps the most impactful computer scientist, once said, and I quote him, "Those who can imagine anything can create the impossible," unquote. Research is also about not feeling defeated by failures, learning from those failures, avoiding those mistakes in the future, and constantly improving. Let us remember the words of Thomas Alva Edison, one of the finest engineering minds that ever lived, who said, and I quote him, "I have not failed, I have just found 1,000 ways that won't work," unquote. Fields Medal winner Dr. Manjul Bhargava has said, I quote him, "Mathematics allows us to see the underlying structures of problems and to reveal the beauty that lies beneath complexity," unquote. His words are in agreement with Joseph Fourier, the famous French mathematician and physicist of the 18th century, who said, and I quote him, "Mathematics compares the most diverse phenomena and discovers the secret analogies that unite them," unquote. After all, mathematics at once abstract and practical, underlines every advance in science and technology. Nobel laureate economist Milton Friedman once said, "The great advances of our civilization are the products of ideas and imagination." Unquote. The much respected and revered economist philosopher Dr. Amartya Sen has believed that development is freedom and has done extensive research on how these two topics are linked. Research in economics and social sciences guide us to understand how science and technology translate into prosperity, justice, equity, freedom, and dignity. The research in humanities reminds us that knowledge must always serve an ethical purpose. The intellectuals have believed that instinct is often the result of curiosity with no logic whatsoever and leads to startling discoveries. Let's remember the words of Charles Darwin, one of the greatest scientists, who said, and I quote him, "The very essence of instinct is that it is followed independently of reason." Unquote. Jennifer Doudna, Nobel laureate in chemistry for the development of CRISPR, that is a clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats. It's a gene editing technology. She once said, "CRISPR really started with curiosity-driven fundamental science." Unquote. Life sciences remind us how fundamental curiosity transforms into profound betterment for the health of living elements. Friends, the voices of Franklin Roosevelt and Vannevar Bush, Jawaharlal Nehru and Richard Feynman, Alan Turing and Thomas Alva Edison, Joseph Fourier and Manjul Bhargava, Milton Friedman and Amartya Sen, and Charles Darwin and Jennifer Doudna underline a common theme. That is, research is humanity's noblest collective enterprise. It demands courage, persistence, and imagination. It bridges science and society, reason and values, and ethics and dignity. Friends, the winners of the Infosys Science Prize or Infosys Prize 2025 once again remind us that science and research are not luxuries but necessities for human survival, dignity, and progress. Today, as we honor the Infosys Prize laureates of 2025, let's not just celebrate their individual brilliance. Let's commit ourselves as a nation and as a part of mankind to nurturing ecosystems of research. Such nurturing requires us to make this country an aspirational, meritocratic, competitive, welcoming, exciting, comfortable, rewarding, and enjoyable place for researchers and their families among our young scientists, engineers, economists, mathematicians, and humanists. It is our sacred duty to ensure that these role models find a highly competitive intellectual environment that reveres hierarchy of ideas rather than hierarchy of titles and offices, that fosters unbridled freedom for these bright minds to walk the untrodden path and to dream the unimaginable. An environment that abounds in adoring encouragement of the citizenry for these dreamers, and an environment that oozes awe-inspired veneration from our whole country. Creating such an ecosystem for research is our unfailing duty, because ultimately research is the only means we have to make India a better nation and this world a better world. This is the only way that we can fulfill the dreams of our founding fathers. The founding fathers sacrificed their lives to create an India where the poorest child in the remotest village would have good access to nutrition, healthcare, shelter, education, and an opportunity to lead a fulfilling life. That responsibility of fulfilling the dreams of our founding fathers lies on the broad, daring, imaginative, and caring shoulders of the Infosys Prize Laureates 2025. I am sure you will succeed in this through your research, because, like me, you too are inspired by the confident, emphatic, visionary, and immortal words of the celebrated mathematician David Hilbert, who said, "We must know and we will know." Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Murthy, for reminding us that and illustrating that basic science, fundamental and curiosity-driven science does indeed impact our lives for the better. The Infosys Science Foundation, through the Infosys Prize, recognizes and rewards researchers whose work has the potential to improve our lives. The Infosys Prize is awarded in 6 categories, as Mr. Murthy just told us, and an international jury then deliberates on their work, and then we call the top candidates, or what you call the winners of the Infosys Prize. So we called them earlier this week, and here to announce the winners of the prize and introduce the distinguished jury who chose them are the trustees of the Infosys Science Foundation, Mr. K. Dinesh, the president of the foundation, Mr. Narayana Murthy, Dr. Pratima Murthy, Mr. S.T. Shibulal, Mr. Srinath Patni, and Mr. Salil Barik. Mr. Mohandas Pai and Mr. Nandan Nilekani could not be here with us today, but they send their hearty congratulations to the winners. Now I invite Mr. Narayana Murthy to begin the announcement by announcing the winner of the Infosys Prize in Economics 2025.
You forgot Chris.
I'm so sorry, I forgot.
No, not an issue.
Oh.
He's a very forgiving man. So
No.
give me. The Infosys Prize 2025 in economics is awarded to Professor Nikhil Agarwal, Professor of Economics at MIT. What about his citation? This is his citation.
When we called him earlier.
Yeah. Now, we will wait for the reaction of the winner.
A little surprised. I didn't expect it. Obviously, as Levon said, I was wondering whether there's going to be some, question about some matching process or something else, and that's what I was expecting to talk about. But I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. It's very humbling. I mean, as you said, the kinds of things that have drawn me to this type of work has been both sort of the practical implication of it and thinking about the social impact. So I appreciate that the jury thought about that aspect of the work. Organ allocation and other things like that has been a big focus of mine for that reason, that it has, more efficient matches in that dimension could make, a positive impact on people's lives. So I'm really appreciative that you guys see that as well and appreciate that part of the research agenda.
Thank you. Well, now it's my privilege to introduce Professor Kaushik Basu, the jury chair of the Economics Prize. Professor Kaushik Basu is a professor of economics and the C. Marks Professor of International Studies at Cornell University. He was also the chief economist and a senior vice president of the World Bank. Prior to joining the World Bank, he served as the chief economic advisor to the government of India. Professor Basu is a fellow of the Econometric Society, and he received the Padma Bhushan as well as the National Mahalanobis Memorial Award. He is the president of the International Economic Association. He has received honorary doctorates from several universities and institutions, including IIT Bombay and Fordham University, New York. He was a recipient of the 2021 Humboldt Research Award for Economics, given by the Humboldt Foundation, Berlin. Now over to Kaushik.
My congratulations to Nikhil Agarwal for being the winner of the Infosys Prize in Economics for the year 2025. His brilliance shines through his work. I'm sure all the jury members share my feeling. Traditional economics assumes that the invisible hand of the market creates prices where demand equals supply. While this is likely true for apples and oranges, this is not the way those needing kidneys find those ready to supply kidneys, or students seeking college admission find the college that will admit them. These matching problems are hugely important but inadequately understood. Nikhil Agarwal's work has transformed this rudimentary literature into one anchored in data, providing new insights into policymaking. Nikhil is an economist of amazingly diverse skills. Moreover, he has brought his talents to bear on topics of great importance for human well-being and is hopefully a step towards a better world.
Thank you, Mr. Murthy, and I would like to invite Mr. Srinath Patni to announce the winner in the Engineering Prize, Engineering and Computer Sciences Prize for 2025.
Good morning. The Infosys Prize 2025 in Engineering and Computer Science is awarded to Sushant Sachdeva, Associate Professor of Mathematical and Computational Sciences at the University of Toronto.
Thank you, Dinesh, sir. Thank you, Dr. Murthy. Thank you, guys. This is it's an incredible honor. I really did not think it would happen thank you. This is it's an incredible piece of news.
That was his first reaction. Let me have the privilege of introducing the jury chair of this category of the prize, Professor Jayati Y. Murthy. Professor Murthy is the president of Oregon State University. Prior to joining Oregon State, Murthy served as the first woman dean of UCLA Henry Samueli School of Engineering and Applied Sciences. Professor Murthy is a member of the National Academy of Engineering, Foreign Fellow of the Indian National Academy of Engineering, Fellow of the American Society of Mechanical Engineers, and the recipient of many honors, including ASME Heat Transfer Memorial Award 2016. The ASME Electronics and Photonics Packaging Division Clock Award and ASME Kate Gleason Award of 2023. Thank you.
On behalf of our jury, I extend my congratulations to Professor Sushant Sachdeva for winning the 2025 Infosys Prize for Engineering and Computer Science. Your work powers modern computing and communication systems by developing foundational methods spanning mathematical analysis, optimization, and computational problem solving. These techniques will influence fields as diverse as healthcare, transportation, and education for years to come.
Onwards to the category of Humanities and Social Sciences, which covers a breadth of subjects that look into human cognition, contrasting the life of the mind across cultures and eras. I now invite Dr. Pratima Murthy to announce the winner of the prize in Humanities and Social Sciences for 2025.
Good afternoon. I'm sure the anticipation and the announcement is as exciting as the awarding of the prize itself. The Infosys Prize 2025 in Humanities and Social Sciences is awarded to Andrew Ollett, Associate Professor of South Asian Languages and Civilizations at the University of Chicago. Let's see his citation. And as you'll see, a leading scholar in Prakrit languages, as well as, a lot of work in the native languages of in the Indian languages, including Kannada. So that's a great one. Let's look at his reactions.
I will still need some time to process this, but I'm of course extremely surprised and but also very very honored and thank you, and thanks to everyone who took the time to read my work. I mean, that is also a significant investment. I'm sure that you read a lot as part of the jury, so I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah.
And of course, we must acknowledge the jury. The chair of the jury is Professor Akhil Bilgrami, who's the Sidney Morgan Besser Professor of Philosophy and Professor Committee on Global Thought, Columbia University. Professor Bilgrami's intellectual interests lie in the area of philosophy of mind and language and in political philosophy and moral psychology. Professor Bilgrami was the chairperson of the Philosophy Department from 1994 until 1998, the director of the Heyman Center for the Humanities at Columbia University from 2004 until 2011, and the director of the South Asian Institute between 2013 and 2016. He was elected as the Cullman Fellow at the New York Public Library, held the Radhakrishnan Chair in India, in addition to visiting professorships at Oxford University and Yale University. Professor Bilgrami is the president of the Trustees and the executive director of the Journal of Philosophy, and on behalf of the jury, he has this message.
My warmest congratulations to Andrew Ollett on being awarded the Infosys Prize in the Humanities and Social Sciences. Thanks to scholars of Sanskrit and the systems of Indian knowledge and literature like Ollett, we are becoming increasingly aware of what made possible the remarkable cosmopolitan reach of Indian culture to distances as far as the corners of Southeast Asia. Honoured scholarship is deep and richly varied. He is the world's foremost scholar of Prakrit, and in his work, Language of the Snakes, he has provided the definitive account of the relationship between Prakrit and Sanskrit. And in a range of other writing, he has revealed the profound depths of Indian theories of linguistic meaning and how they anticipated in much formal detail the most live theoretical controversies in syntax, semantics, and pragmatics of our own time.
I am delighted to call upon Mr. S.D. Shibulal to announce the prize in the life sciences, one that most of us have an active interest in, perhaps because it's something we can all relate to and understand best.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to announce the Infosys Prize 2025 in Life Sciences. The Infosys Prize 2025 in Life Sciences is awarded to Anjana Badrinarayanan, Associate Professor at the National Center for Biological Sciences, Bangalore. Now let us look at her reaction.
Thank you so much, Professor Sir. I mean, this is such a, I don't know, it's such a surprise and an honor. I'm sorry, I'm not, I'm a little bit dazed by this. It's really such an honor. I was very grateful for the acknowledgement of the work of my entire group also. I'm super grateful for that. And I would really like to also say that it's really about my entire team. So thank you so much for this honor.
So let me now introduce the jury chair, Mruganga Sir. Professor Mruganga Sir is the Newtonian Professor of Neurosciences and the Director of Simon Center for the Social Brain at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology. He is a pioneer in the study of the organization, plasticity, and dynamics of the brain's cerebral cortex using experimental and theoretical approaches. Professor Sur founded the Simon Center for the Social Brain at MIT after 15 years as the head of MIT's Department of Brain and Cognitive Sciences. He is an elected fellow of the Royal Society UK, the US National Academy of Medicine, the American Association for the Advancement of Science, and the Indian National Science Academy. Now let us hear from him. Thank you.
On behalf of the jury, I warmly congratulate you, Anjana, on receiving the Infosys Prize 2025 in Life Sciences. The jury unanimously recognizes you for your pioneering contributions to understanding mechanisms of genome maintenance and repair. We were very impressed by your innovative life cell imaging techniques that you combined with genetic and cell biological approaches to reveal fundamental principles of how DNA damage is repaired, and your demonstration of mutagenesis in non-dividing cells, and your identification of novel pathways of mitochondrial DNA damage responses. Your work has illuminated principles central to life and evolution. Your work, with its creativity and technical innovation and conceptual rigor, also has important implications for fields as diverse as cancer and bacterial resistance to antibiotics.
And to invite I'd like to invite Mr. Dinesh to announce the winner of the Infosys Prize in Mathematical Sciences.
Thanks, Bhavna. It's, as you all know, mathematics is the queen of all sciences, which lays the foundation for many things that need to be proved in other sciences. So it's my pleasure to announce the prize for 2025 Mathematical Sciences. And it is Sabyasachi Mukherjee, Associate Professor, School of Mathematics at Tata Institute of Fundamental Research, Mumbai. Let's see his reaction.
Beginning of the day, it makes my day. I don't know how to express right now, but I'm very happy, very honored, and I think it's also a lot of responsibility. I've been working on this area and trying to work with a lot of young people, both in the US, Europe, as well as in India. In India, I don't think there has been such a big culture of these sort of low-dimensional dynamics, but with help from Mahan and other people locally, we've managed to attract young people, and I hope it continues, yeah. But it's great that there's some recognition for this, so I'm very happy, honored.
Let me have the pleasure of giving what Chandrasekhar Khare stands for. Many things he has, under his broad shoulders and great brain. Chandrasekhar Khare is Professor of Mathematics at University of California, Los Angeles. He is a number theorist who works on the connection between modular forms and Galai representations. Professor Khare's work with Jean-Pierre Wintenberger gave a proof of a celebrated conjecture of J.P. Serre in this subject. Among the many honors and awards that Professor Khare has received are the Humboldt Research Award in 2011, Cole Prize in 2011, Infosys Prize in 2010, the list is going on, wait, Guggenheim Fellowship in 2008, Fermat Prize in 2007, and the INSA Young Scientist Award in 1999. Khare was invited speaker at the International Congress of Mathematicians held in Hyderabad in August 2010. In 2012, he was elected a Fellow of the Royal Society, UK.
I would like to congratulate Sabyasachi Mukherjee from Tata Institute of Fundamental Research for being awarded the Infosys Prize 2025 for the Mathematical Sciences. Sabya is recognized for his powerful work, which brings into connection two very different areas of mathematics. In mathematics, the results which are most valued are those which build bridges between different areas, and Sabya's work indeed builds one such bridge. So Sabya's work links two areas of mathematics. On the one hand, the actions of Kleinian groups, the dynamics of that, and the dynamics of which arise from the iterations of holomorphic maps in complex dynamics. His work indeed has reshaped our understanding of complex dynamics. One of the themes of the kind of mathematics Sabya studies is that complexity can arise from iterating very simple maps. Sabya's work in one of its sort of manifestations studies a shape called a tricon. This shape is a triangular shape which resembles the kind of hats which were in vogue in 18th century Europe, and they are the counterparts in anti-holomorphic dynamics of what are known as Mandelbrot sets, which many of you might be familiar with. These are fractal shapes which arise from the dynamics of complex quadratic maps. So I want to congratulate Sabya on the behalf of the entire jury for his beautiful work and his achievements which have resulted in his recognition for this Infosys Prize.
The work of the winner in the physical sciences last year sounded like science fiction. It is no less astounding this year in its implications for humanity. I would like to call upon Chris Gopalakrishnan to announce the winner for the Infosys Prize in the Physical Sciences 2025.
Good morning. The Infosys Prize 2025 in Physical Sciences is awarded to Kartish Manthiram, Professor of Chemical Engineering and Chemistry at the California Institute of Technology. The citation reads as follows. And now to hear the reaction of Kartish.
It means a lot. I really can't believe that I've been selected, but I've seen the people who won before, so it means a lot. And I have just so much respect too, just for the people that you just mentioned. I mean, these are the luminaries, the folks who've paved the way for so many of us to be able to do what we're doing. So I'm really honored and just very grateful. I have to say that from what I've heard about the prize before, the opportunity to stay in India was one of the things that I was most intrigued by. And for me, I think just an opportunity as well to get to spend more time with a lot of scientists that I truly admire in India. So I'm very much looking forward to that.
The last bit was about his spending time in India after winning this prize. So the jury chair for the physical sciences is Professor Srinivas Kulkarni. Srinivas Kulkarni is the George Ellery Hale Professor of Astronomy and Planetary Science at the California Institute of Technology and former director of the Caltech Optical Observatories. Professor Kulkarni's primary interests are the study of compact objects and the search for extrasolar planets through interferometric and adaptive techniques. His notable awards include the Alan T. Waterman Prize of the U.S. National Science Foundation, Helen B. Warner Award of the American Astronomical Society, the Jansky Prize of Associated Universities. Professor Kulkarni is an elected fellow of several learned academies, including the National Academy of Sciences of the United States of America and foreign member of the Royal Netherlands Academy of Arts and Sciences. In 2017, he won the Dan David Prize for his contribution to the emerging field of time domain astronomy. In 2024, he was awarded the Shaw Prize in Astronomy. Now, Professor Srinivas Kulkarni explaining the winner's work.
Congratulations, Dr. Kartish Manthiram, for winning the Infosys Prize in Physical Sciences 2025. You have redefined how electricity can be used to synthesize small common molecules to make chemicals that are fundamental to agriculture and industry. More than 100 years ago, Haber and Bosch synthesized ammonia from air using high pressure. We hope your inventions and innovations will be equally impactful.
Thank you, Chris. So that was the winner pulling things out of thin air, and I present you all the winners of the Infosys Prize 2025 one last time. Do remember to go to our website infosysprize.org and read about their work. I invite you all to join us at the Taj West End on the 10th of January. They will be the winners will be felicitated by our Chief Guest Nobel Laureate Randy Sheckman, who is the Nobel Laureate for Physiology in 2013 and currently a professor of cell biology at the University of California, Berkeley. We are now ready to take any questions that you have for the trustees of the Infosys Science Foundation. If you have a question, please raise your hand. A mic will come to you. Introduce yourselves before asking a question.
I am
Yeah, it's on. Just introduce yourself and ask.
I am Veeranna, the past president of Bangalore Management Association. My question to all the co-founders and Infosys Science Foundation trustees, because the whole vision of Infosys is to encourage nurture the young talents. Whether some of the winners on that occasion when they come, whether they can address the young PG students, at least in Bangalore, and can you create a platform for such occasion? That's my one question.
Yes, so we have a symposium on the eve of the ceremony where we would love to invite more students. We already do invite students, and I'm happy to take your.
No, that will be very small interaction. I don't think they will
We'll
be able
plan
to.
further. We also. Yes, Chris, go ahead.
They'll spend time on it. They'll spend time on it.
Yeah.
So on January 9th, there is a symposium that's organized at Taj West End where all the laureates will be speaking. Similarly, we have these laureates going around in select academic institutions to address the students. That will happen through the year. Not just the laureates, previous laureates, the jury chairs, all of them actually address the students. We have a calendar that's published, as well as these, especially the winners who are outside the country, they will spend 1 month in the next 2 years in India.
Hi, thank you. Hi, I'm Rukmini from Fortune India.
Can you please speak up? Sorry, I didn't hear your name.
Am
Could
I
you
audible
please?
now? Better?
Yes.
Okay. Hi, this is Rukmini from Fortune India. Given that the trustees and the co-founders of Infosys are here, and all of you are so clued into the research ecosystem, any piece of research that is interesting that has come across where you think is going to change the face of the Indian IT services industry? Anything that that comes to your that you guys have come across which is extremely interesting and that you think is going to be having in the coming days a lot of impact on the sector? Thank you.
Hi, this is Salil. So thanks for the question. I think what we are seeing in the tech services sector is a lot of change with what's going on in AI. So a lot of that research has been going on for many years before. The fundamental research that has contributed to it, for example, the building of the foundation models, the way some of the data analysis has been going on. And that's the impact that we're seeing today in what's going on in tech services. A lot of that AI is building new ways of doing work within our clients. And we will see more and more growth supported by what we're seeing in AI services across tech services and Infosys.
Chris, do you want to talk about any research?
Yes. So I just have it's not like a question, almost like a suggestion. It would be interesting to have a session which is summarizing or giving the impact created by the past laureates. For example, 5 years or 10 years back, many of them have promised to help India, and then it would also be nice people to know that they have indeed contributed and then followed it up and then taken with all seriousness and sincerity, did something to our country, to the research and so on. So something like an event, if the beneficiaries are in India, they can come forward and then as a part of the symposium or give an account of how they benefited due to their presence or continued interaction. It's just a suggestion to recap, because public as well as many of the people even in the academic community are not really aware of the impact created by the past experts. It's just a request and suggestion.
Sure. Yeah. Any other questions? We have time for one more question. Okay, if not, then we will wrap up this morning's event. Thank you all for coming. I would request the trustees to come here for a photograph. The media have requested. I request the rest of you and our guests to please join us for lunch on the first and second floors. Thank you again, and we look forward to seeing all of you.